Hey, yes, it's Coffee and welcome back to my channel. So, first video I thought, and I've been thinking about this for a while actually, about talking about different DJs and producers, even though I know nothing about production. Well, I know a tiny little bit about production, but I thought every so often talk about the different DJs that I'm feeling and their different sounds and different styles. But because there's so many out there, I just thought, you know what? How about I make it into like a bit of a series or sort of thing? Because there's so many out there, like I just said, and just goes my jaw. Yeah, so let's get into the video. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm gonna start off, with the more lighter styles, lighter genres, and then move on to the more heavy stuff, etc, etc. So I thought I'd start off with Purple Disco Machine. Now I've been listening to a lot of Purple Disco Machine in the past, don't even know, probably year or something like that. I think with Purple Disco Machine, he's like, if you're doing a set, of all different genres, if you're doing a set of all different genres or something like that, he's perfect, for starting off. And I've even, like, in my sets when I've done like gigs, in the past, I've started off with Purple Disco Machine. Or even if you want to like slow the vibe down during a set, then yeah, Purple Disco Machine's brilliant. And my favourite tune from Purple Disco Machine is his remix of Shakedown at Night, which is a brilliant tune for as I said, starting off with, easing you into it, or even slowing down, etc, etc. Moving on is Calippo. Calippo is I don't know if it's like more than one person or one person or whichever it may be, but Calippo is brilliant for produce that more melodic future sound. Perfect for a house set when you want to set the tempo a little bit more. Great for dancing to, so's all dance music, but yeah, Calippo, yeah, definitely that more melodic sound, and definitely on that more futuristic sound, that more melodic sort of vibe. And my favourite tune from them, or him or her, is Will Be Heard. I've played that a lot in my gigs, and it's a fantastic tune. I'm sure you'll like it. Moving on, M22, and I love M22. It's very chart-esque, their sound, very, very chart-esque, and a couple of their tunes that I know off the top of my head has been in the charts. Tunes like First Time and White Lies as well is my other favourite tune. So great melody for the dance floors. I think White Lies has got that perfect balance between, and hear me out here sort of thing. I think White Lies has got that perfect balance between like a really like a house set, but it's brilliant for that. It's got that like big room sort of vibe about it. White Lies. If you have a listen to it, I think you'll agree. Well, I hope anyway. But M22, fantastic production and very, very good. Next along the list is Gary Chaos. Now Gary Chaos, I only found out about him start of last year, and he's got a very, very Jack and House sort of sound. It's not too heavy, but it's not too light, but it's not, I don't think it's as melodic as like Calippo and M22. Very, very catchy, I think. But as I said, definitely on that more Jack and House sort of vibe. Bit more of a faster paced rhythm to it as well. Like if I name a couple of tunes, like Smoke Every Day, which is my favourite tune from him, and I do play that probably overplayed sometimes, but yeah, Smoke Every Day is an absolute tune. Without This as well, like that's sampled from an Eminem track, pretty sure as well. But yeah, he's nowhere near Big Room or anything like that, but he's very catchy sort of vibe. Defo Jack and House, like I've already said. But he puts like a fast pace to it in his tunes, and very, very catchy as well, like I said. So yeah, Smoke Every Day is my favourite tune from him. And also he's perfect if you want to like up the tempo in your sets. So yeah, Gary Chaos, thumbs up from me. Now next along the line is Rebuke. Rebuke I've only very, very recently found out about. He's a lot more slower than the others, like I've told you about. Rebuke is more of a darker underground sort of vibe. More of like a sub soul, I think, is the YouTube channel that, or I'm not sure if Subsoul's a name of a label, a record label or whatever, but the Subsoul YouTube channel that they're on, that he's on, it's more of a underground sort of darker vibe, but definitely fantastic DJ and producer. I don't know too much about Rebuke, so I can't really talk about him too much, but what I've heard from him so far is phenomenal. And my favourite tune from him is Along Came Polly, and that was one of his much more bigger tunes. I actually played that tune in my year mix, my rave sessions year mix, and it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy, to be fair, but it's defo more on that underground vibe, like I've already said. Next along the line is Adaptive. I don't know if I think Adaptive's 2 people, I think. But yeah, they're a lot more on that future house sound. My battery's running out on my iPad, so turn the brightness down. Definitely more on that future house sound. Very, very groovy as well. I remember when I first heard about Adaptive, this is building up to when I first heard about Adaptive, is when I was in Florida. I'll try and cut a long story short. When I was in Florida, just got off the flight and everything a few years ago, and first radio station we turned on when we were going down the freeway, and it was a remix of Calvin Harris, Feel So Close, and like throughout the whole holiday I was trying to find it, and I couldn't find who the remix was by, and then eventually a couple of weeks later, after I came off my holiday, it was by a name called Adaptive, and I was like, all right, okay. So I looked into Adaptive more, and I that's how I found out about Adaptive, and so Adaptive, very, very groovy, more of that future house sound, and my favourite tunes from them are Feel So Close, like I just said, and Charlie XCX Break the Rules. They've made a remix of that. A bootleg should I say? So I don't think it's official, or I don't think either of them are official. So their bootlegs of Feel So Close and Break the Rules are fantastic. Break the Rules is very like faster paced sort of futuristic sound. Really, really good. Next along is Mr. Belt and Weasel. Now, Mr. Belt and Weasel are Future House again. I think their production is more on the heavier side. Some of their tunes aren't quite as heavy, but they've defo gone in some of their songs, or some of their tunes, they've defo gone for that more heavier side of things, like Good Times by them, which is sampled from like a much more older tune, pretty sure. Even though a lot of dance music is samples from like older tunes, I know that, but just going from like my knowledge really, but Good Times, very, very groovy. It's a lot heavier as well, a lot more bassier. And I actually made made the mash of Good Times, which was Westlife, You Raise Me Up, mixed mashed up with Good Times by Mr. Belton Weasel. So yeah, and if you wanna transition into a more heavier sort of style, then yeah, Mr. Belton Weasel, yeah, brilliant. And they, in fact, Mr. Belton Weasel, I found out about them through Oliver Heldens, because I started listening to Oliver Heldens first in Future House, and then yeah. Right, okay, so moving on to techno now. I'm only going to mention one producer from techno, and I think if you've seen my other videos, you might know who I'm going to say here, but yeah, Charlotte DeWitter, she's absolutely, yeah, she actually was the one that got me into techno. It was her Tomorrowland set from 2018. Her Tomorrowland set was, I just stumbled across it, and it was absolutely fantastic. And she, I remember her saying in an interview once that she doesn't like to play with the tracks too much, but when she does, you know, like as in like adding in effects and all that, but when she does add in the effects, she gets that perfect balance, and she knows how to really nail out a smooth set, so no like too obvious or too huge transitions from one style of techno to another. She bridges it all fantastically, and yeah, she always performs a smooth set, or plays a smooth set, should I say. And my favourite tunes from her are This and My Feeling. I'm not sure which was released first, but yeah, two fantastic tunes. And as I said, she always does smooth transitions from the smooth or the lighter ends of techno all the way through to the heavier ends of techno. I do know more techno producers as I've got into techno a lot more, but I will save them for further videos, because as I said, I'm trying to make this into, well, I'm thinking of making this into a bit of a series. So yeah, moving on. Laidback Luke. Now Laidback Luke, Laidback Luke, I've been listening to him for absolutely years, and I started listening to him not long after I got into dance and rave music. Yeah, he produces Dutch house, some on the more melodic sort of side as well, and some on the more big room sort of sides. What I like about Laidback Luke as well is that so like, you know, on like a set of CDJs or whatever, on a set of decks now, you know, you go you play and Q button, well Q button, and you play pause button. What he likes to do is he still likes to use the scratch platter, so he'll be on you know, using that instead of your cue and play, and he will actually use the vinyl mode, and actually, you know, so he's still using the old school way like you would do on vinyl. So yeah, fair play for keeping that going still, because you know, pretty much every DJ now uses the cue and play pause buttons, but he also likes to use the hot cues as well, which I like. I love using the hot cue. I've been practicing using the hot cue a lot more when I've been doing podcasts and just sets really. But my favourite tunes from him are Turbulence and Sax, so SAX. Laidback Luke, really good stuff. Next, keeping it on that big room sort of vibe, is W&W. Now W&W I've been a fan for years. Well, I've been a fan of for years. What I love about W&W is that their kick drums, even though they're big room, their kick drums are like they kind of pushing into that hard style sort of vibe, not as like a full dong 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 sort of sound. They're kind of like you can just notice a hard style sort of kicking them, so like a doink doink doink. You'll know what I mean if you listen to them. So bigger and producers, very big kicks in their production, and my favourite tunes from them are Thunder and Shotgun. Like if you listen to a Thunder and Shotgun, you'll just notice in the kick drum, it's like it's going towards like doing doing or like dong dong sort of sound, which is getting hard style. So yeah, and plus, you know me, like my favourite genre in dance and rave music is hardstyle. So yeah, I love dubbing. Gets a thumbs up for me. Moving on, Timmy Trumpet. Now Timmy Trumpet, I've only recently started getting into his sound really, and he does a lot of like your big room. I've heard one tune that sounds a bit like Melbourne Bounce actually from him. I don't know if he does more Melbourne Bounce stuff, but one of his tunes, yeah, sounds a bit like Melbourne Bounce. I don't know a lot of Melbourne Bounce, so I can't comment on it too much. But yeah, he does a lot of big room and hardstyle as well. And I enjoy the collabs he's done, which is going to take me on to my favourite tracks by him. But he's also a great showman as well. So like I've seen him on Tomorrowland. Some of it I'm not overly keen on, I will admit, but some of it, his actual talent, being a showman is actually pretty decent. And plus he uses a trumpet in a set, hence his name, Timmy Trumpet. But getting a balance of actually performing using a trumpet live in your sets and DJing is really good, so fair play to him. So my favourite tunes, which include him, when he's done collabs, well, I've only named one collab, is Tricky and Freaks. Freaks is a brilliant track. Moving on, and he's done a bit of side trance as well. But yeah, anyway, moving on to Indecent Noise. Now, Indecent Noise, I've known about for a few years now. They were getting played on his it's just he's just a solo producer. Yeah. He was getting played a lot on Radio 1 when Kutski was on Radio 1. Kutski was promoting his tracks a lot. His tech trance sound, he produces tech trance, and I think it's perfect for when you want to bridge the gap between like from your big room or faster house into the harder stuff, so it's like techie trance into the more hard trance, onto hard style, etc. His production is very good in the tech trance scene, and his remix of Lisa Lash's Numero Uno is my favourite track from him, and my other favourite track from him is his recent release of Kutski's track Changes. Are my favourite tracks from him. Moving on into the more harder stuff now. DJ Mandy, she's really up to her game since she started production. And I know I can't say too much about production, so I don't know too much about it. But Mandy is a hardstyle producer. She's I think she's more younger of all the producers too. I found about her last year, and as I've got jot down here, her production's getting better and better, quickly. And you can tell by the year that it's getting brilliant. My favourite tunes from her are Ragabomb and her remix of Jackie Chan. I think it was her remix of Jackie Chan that I actually found out about DJ Mandy. No, it wasn't actually. I'd heard of her from her guest mix on Kutski's Keeping a Rave Alive podcast, and but then she done a remix of Jackie Chan, which then I thought, oh, you know what? There's something about her production, which obviously, you know, she's up in her game, and yeah, fantastic. Moving on to MKN. Now MKN is an absolute wizard. From what I've heard from other DJs, so when I've watched them on YouTube and stuff. But yeah, young DJ and producer. He's absolutely amazing at producing reverse bass. Like he gets that full on sort of, like, you know, that reverse bass sounds where it's like vum 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 vum. He absolutely nails it out of the park, like, straight away. Like, absolutely fantastic stuff. And he's made some good remixes too, actually. Higher by D Block and Estifan, and which stands out, and his remix of Jordan Suckley and Kutski, Surveillance, is fantastic. Even though he's known for that reverse bass, his is the more higher pitched sort of kick and bass, the more higher pitched sort of kick drums that are, you know, like a gong gong dong dong sort of sounds. He's very good at producing them too, but his reverse bass, yeah, love it. Next along is Kit Hype. Now Kit Hype is more on the freestyle sort of sound. It's absolutely amazing, his stuff. He, as I said, he's more in the freestyle sort of genres. But when he's produced, it's like he's producing, you know, like a completely different sound each time. He's producing, you know, more of a trap sort of sound, and I love trap music, and then he's nailed it for the more harder stuff. So yeah, I found out about Kit Hype in 2016 as well. I'm not sure how old or young he is, but yeah, his song, or tune, should I say? I keep on saying song, don't I? But yeah, his tune Concrete Jungle stands out for me. I can't get enough Concrete Jungle. It's a fantastic tune. So yeah, next on the list, and we're nearly done now, is Looney Tunes, or they like to put it as LNYTNZ, and yeah, they get the perfect balance. I keep on looking right again, but yeah, they get the perfect balance between freestyle and hardstyle. Looney Tunes are actually one of the first DJ / producers that actually got, well, not got me into freestyle, but I actually found out about the freestyle scene. My favourite tune from them is I Love Sax. Yeah, I couldn't read that then for a second. Yeah, I Love Sax is my best. Well, it's my favourite tune from them so far, and I think that came out in 2014. I remember hearing it on the Keeping the Rave Alive podcast, and Shit Mordy as well. Keeping the Rave Alive. Yeah. So finally, gonna round up now and finishing off with a DJ producer called Warface. Now Warface is a raw style DJ and producer. I think he gets that perfect balance between that raw sound and a more melodic sound in his production. My favourite track from him is Welcome to the Jungle. That, I don't know when that came out. I think that was 2017, but yeah, I can't get enough of that tune when I do listen to Warface. But his other production's brilliant as well. So yeah, Warface is another name on the scene which I love. So yeah, that rounds it up for this video. But I'm gonna do a lot more on this because I think I remember saying it on my first video on this channel that you know, well, doing like videos on sort of DJs that I'm feeling and their different sounds and vibes is something that I'm gonna you know, like, and you know, it's gonna be good for the channel. So yeah, so I thought I'd do this and probably turn it into more episodes. Yeah, so I'm hoping that my next podcast is gonna come out on Saturday, because I'm trying to upload them every Saturday, you know, so then you got some beats just in time for your weekend. And also I've noticed that the subscribers are going up and up. We're on 96 now. So let's try and reach 100 because that would be class. Absolutely class that. So yeah, thank you so much for liking and subscribing. I don't think I'll get that many likes, but yeah, if you could click the like button as well, subscribing, that'd be amazing. Comment if you're enjoying the videos so far. What else is there? Yeah, in my last video I linked my latest podcast. I'll link it for you down here again. And yeah, thank you so much again for subscribing. Almost at 100, almost there. Yeah, like I always say, keep safe, party safe, rave safe. Till next video, it's me, Coffee, and I'm off, and enjoy whatever you're doing, and yeah, see ya.